Hello everyone and welcome to the meeting. We have here today our media planning team, research, creative and digital, also production team here with us. Please sit wherever you want in the room. It will only be a little bit easier for me if you are together with your department, so I don't have to scan the crowd to address you. Okay, I think we are all here now, and since we are, I would like to start by congratulating everyone for landing the PayPal account. It is one of this agency's key accounts, and I'm very excited to be working in a campaign for PayPal with all of you. So let's take some time, let that sink in. Yes, this is really happening, and it's going to be an incredible experience for these 6 months with you all. It is important for me to have you all here because I want everyone to be on the same page. I want to account for your opinions, your knowledge, and also receive your suggestions. Firstly, we will go through the brief, and I would like to take note of your suggestions, okay? So any suggestion, warning, or ideas that you have, I want you to share with us as a group or as individual meeting. And for that purpose, I will share this document in our system shared folder, so we can all reread it as much as we need to and see the process again with fresher ideas, and then start brainstorming with the teams and also in the chalkboard that we have in our area. All right, so I hope you are all excited because we will be working with the PayPal account for 6 months between pre-campaign and campaign. Every week, we will be in contact with the client, and it is my responsibility to ensure that there is no micromanagement of your work. We will have established timings, and we must abide by them. We will not change the course of how we communicate inside the company between teams, and I will do my best to prevent the client from micromanaging you. I think this is really important because as an agency, we know how we work best, and as a team, I prefer to ensure the client by having weekly reports of our progress than having them directly pressuring you, okay? The communication with the client will have to be well defined by us, because I'm not sure if all of you know this, but some of the colleagues we previously worked with in the campaign with PayPal, they're not working there anymore. So we will also be managing new relationships. Of course, forging new relationships is always hard, but I will do my best to show them the previous work we've done, the previous ways we worked with them, and how it works best for us, and make a really clear statement of how we work best and what is best for the work that they require of us. Okay, so with no further delay, let's go through the brief. Let's understand what's expected of our final work and what type of target we'll be facing. As you can see here, the brief is divided in 5 topics: problem, goal, key insights, target audience, and channels. The problem we will tackle is misinformation, as you see in the keywords, and misinterpretation. So the service offered by PayPal are not being very well explained, apparently. And our goal is to clarify these services of virtual wallet and what type of control one has over their account. The key insight here is to see the target audience, teens between 12 and 17 years old. So we should see them as young entrepreneurs, okay? The money they receive allows them to have a sense of independence while balancing a typical teenager lifestyle. We are expected to deliver a campaign that shows safety, control over your account, and simplicity. Hence the main message you see here: receive money wherever, whenever. The main message is not a slogan, but it serves as guidance. Okay, so it's not mandatory, but if we do find some ideas for this as a slogan, it can be used as one. PayPal suggested having SMS and MMS as channels. But I think we, as a up-to-date and creative agency, we can expand the type of channels used for this campaign. We have seen in previous campaigns with this client that we have space to play with creativity and expand the brief. So let's get inspired and create meaningful experiences. Lastly, let's look at the keywords again. So we should take in consideration that this is a campaign to be seen as fast, fun, and teenager appropriate, okay? With the final intention of clearing out what is an actual virtual wallet, what type of control, and what are the benefits of using PayPal. Alright, so let's summarize what we know so far about the brand and what will perhaps influence our 6-month journey. We have a previous experience with PayPal, as I told you before, and we have made a campaign, as you see here, that it was on various newspapers and it was in the metro system in London, and it was based on big formats. The campaign targeted young adults, and it had a fun wordplay. We used it to explain we used the campaign to explain to the audience in which type of services PayPal can help conducting a safe payment. Okay, so the request here was very different from the target audience point of view, and also the target audience's culture. In that way, what we can take from the past is the ease of being creative, and the brand actually, they gave us plenty of space to try different things because we both have a great sense of the brand's culture and the brand's values. Therefore, right now we are expected to be part of the teen culture and be a conversation starter and shift their knowledge of the service from not really knowing what's going on with PayPal to being in full trust and using PayPal to expand their endeavors. Ultimately, we want to reach the entrepreneur teenager, the rising star. Okay? So let's aim for that. So these are the requirements for this campaign. Now, to be sure that we fulfill these requirements, we will deal with external communication. So the way we will deal with the communications with the client is I will make weekly reports and ask for weekly feedback on the evolution of our project until the end of the week. So we will have about 4 days of intensive work. And the 5th day, I would like to leave it so we can have some room to wiggle, so that we don't need to go over budget, we don't need to overwork ourselves. I would really like for all of you to be excited about this project so that we can work better and have more content that is relevant, all right? So that when we ask for feedback, we ask actually for important, relevant feedback that will make us conduct a better week in the next week, you know. And also, as we've spoken before, there are new people in the client side, so we will have a monthly presential meeting where I will meet with them so we can also go through previous emails, make sure nothing was left, no rock was left unturned, that they are sure and confident about what we are doing so far. All right? In terms of teams, we will have walk-in meetings. I don't want to set a schedule for 1-hour meeting with anyone or any department. I want you all to have a meeting with me as we walk. So be sure what you want to ask me, be sure what direction you want the meeting to take, and let's make it fast and simple, all right? Then, to share our ideas, we have a chalkboard in our room, in our floor actually, and I want you to use it for visual ideas, okay? So if you want to print something, if you want to leave a post-it note with some suggestion or warning, or let us know that this current here is taking us to myopia. So we want to be very open about what you think. Do you think we are not seeing some dangers? Do you think it's getting dull? It's not really interesting. It doesn't match with the research. Go to the board. Let everybody know, right? Let's not take chances. Take chances here. And again, we will have team meetings, of course, but I will send you an email, or whoever arranges, or whatever the department wants to have a meeting, whichever the department wants to have a meeting, will send a previous email before the meeting with all bullet point topics, all right? So everybody knows what's going to happen, why it's happening, and I think everything will be smoother, all right? All right, let's talk legal. For every legal matter in this campaign, every detail that needs better explanation or it needs to be more explicit, we will be in contact with the client's legal team, all right? So it will be their responsibility to talk to us and bring awareness to us about these little details that can't be avoided. They will also be responsible for evaluating our legal content. So the small letters that need to be added in print or any other information that we just can't miss due to legal consequences. We will count on them to evaluate consumer and brand protection requirements. So they will be a great aid to us. We will be in constant, we will constantly ask for feedback from them so that we don't miss any important steps. This is a service brand that leads with people's money, and normally if there is an issue with legal matters in these cases, it's going to be tricky. So let's do our best to be clear, have a clear contact with them, share information that is important, and make sure that nothing is missing. Okay, so our first week in our first month. Here we will take our media planning, research, and creative teams, and we will revisit the client's feedback. Like I told you before, there will be this document will be available for you. So by this time, we will all be very confident in what's needed and what we want. We will already have some ideas of what we want to suggest, and we will separately, we will see 2 currents of ideas, so media planning, in this case 3, medium planning will have their idea, research will have their idea, creative their idea, and then on a second week we will reform this and join the ideas into one big one and make a semi-final draw of the campaign. We will be in constant communication with the client. We will want feedback at least 3 times in a month. That is the minimum, okay? In the first week, I understand that we don't want to get client feedback, but if we have an idea to run by them, let's do it. We will probably need to check with the client's lawyer. We will need to check it with Clearcast also. I don't want us to check with Clearcast by the end of anything. I want to run even ideas by them. I want to make this as clear as I can because we do not want to miss timings and we do not want to waste our time, all right? It's very important to me and to every one of you as individuals that we do not run past, do an over schedule, okay? Let's work when we need to be here and let's be out when we need to be out, right? Right, so by the second month, the media planning and the research team will have finalized their process, and we will start with digital and production team together with creative. So it's important that creative team is here from the beginning so we can have a guiding line from beginning to end, right? So we will draw digital constraints. We will see at the moment what is relevant, if there's any special topic we can catch and use it in our campaign. We will obviously strive for the best content and the best insight. We want to make a digital campaign, but we also want some traditional campaign to continue with the ideas from our previous campaign, so we have some structure here for PayPal. We will have client review again every week, and of course check with the lawyer, see if there is something that we are missing, something that should be added or clarified. And we should, by the end of the second month, finalize our idea or drawings or storyboard for the campaign, and then again check with lawyers and clarinet. Alright, third month, last month before launching, we will have the production team, the creative team here serving as a guidance, and the media planning team again. We will visit the previous month's feedback, we will understand, fill in the storyboards, we will recruit models and the video team. Whatever we need to outsource, we will. I think we have budget enough for this, but of course we have to keep in the schedule or else we will have some troubles. If we do, please be aware of what I've said also before, that let's make our best work during 4 days of the week, so we have some space on the 5th day, that we don't have to wait for the weekend for so long. We can maybe arrange something in the 5th day and make it really easier for us. By the end of the third month, we want to finalize our campaign. So we will have everything ready to launch in every channel, and what we want is a clear campaign that says what is exactly the service of PayPal and is directed to entrepreneurial youngsters, right? So as you've seen before, we were basically using a waterfall model. Okay, so we will draw from our requirements, have a design, we will develop, we'll test with the client, we'll get approval, and then we go through the next phase. So 1 month almost per department. As our content plan, we need to reach these teenagers, so there shouldn't be any day of the week that we are not posting something. We will talk about brand, we will talk about culture, and we will use a dose of humor to get our message across. So we will be using Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. These platforms are the client's suggestion, and our research team will see if there is another platform that is more indicated for this, or if we don't need to change anything and this is the correct target for our audience. As for the days, the months that the campaign will be running are April, May, and June. We will be registering the campaign activity through social media, print, TV ad, and we will evaluate it in these 3 months. Of course, we will also evaluate during the pre-campaign. We will evaluate what are the type of interactions these teenagers have with the brand before our campaign, during our campaign, and also after our campaign. So we can have objective data to support what kind of campaign this was. Was it efficient? Was it poorly managed? How did it go? So that we can continue having great relationships with the client and make sure that they know that we have proven that we make great success for their services and their progress. So how will we evaluate the campaign? What are our KPIs? We must focus on 2 types of objectives: business objectives and communication objectives. In terms of business, we will have to see new downloads, individual new registry on the platform, and we will have to raise awareness within the teenager community. As far as communication objectives, we will have to see some social media buzz, we will have to be shared a lot, see many likes on our posts, and positive reviews of the platform. We will need to see some presence within the teen culture and be relevant within it. To prove conversion, we will use about 1% of the budget for research and measuring the campaign, right? We will measure the abandonment rate, keyword visit, word of mouth, new registries. And with these measurements, we will be able to analyze what happens to sales before we started the campaign, during the campaign, and after. And we will be focusing on London, so we know how to make some comparisons with our competitors within the pre and post campaign, and we can prove our overall conversion and how actually with precise data, how did the campaign go? Was it effective? Was it not? Very well. Now we have finalized our presentation here. We have gone through the brief. We have gone through our first 3 months and what is required of them. We've seen our content plan and what type of model we will be using. So thank you all for being here. I'm very excited for the next 6 months working with you all, making sure you're not micromanaged and making sure we don't have any type of myopia, and we can expand this campaign as much as we can. We are a very, very creative agency. You are very creative individuals and professionals. Let's make this campaign for teens exciting, relatable. Make sure that we treat them as entrepreneurs, as the next generation of money makers. Let's make them feel safe, secure, and independent in their endeavors, all right? If there's any problem, any questions you want to ask me, feel free. We can do it right now, or we can make a break and then come back, whichever is your preference. But for now, for this presentation, I have completed it, and I will send you the document in our shared folder. And thank you all, and best of luck for every one of us. Let's do an amazing campaign together.